Okay, good evening, everyone. Now, please give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Perfect. Thank you so much. It'd be very helpful if you put your cameras on so we may talk. I have some questions like last class for you. We're going to try. We have to make this class interactive. We have to ask questions. You have to answer questions, right? In fact, I have to clear it out as well. Uh, Very quickly, okay, we have few people in the waiting room. Let me get them. Okay, very quickly, did you do the homework? Did you try to do the homework or some suggestive things which I recommended? So homework is like, okay, fine. I told you that I'll be taking you through. That's the reason I got the reading 5 VARC sheet open right now. We have to do this mind mapping exercise. But before that, I don't know if you have started or not, but it's just a generic announcement I want to make. But you have to take this very seriously, though the announcement seems generic. Please start your reading comprehension funda book. Start practicing. I know some of us have already started, which is a brilliant thing, which is a superb thing, but we have to just take it seriously. In fact, to be honest, the books, it has two sets, if I recall correctly, right? So what you have to do, you have to fix the target on a daily basis. If you take one passage, we are good, honestly, because you know, and all these passages are from the different backgrounds. So for that matter, you're confident to handle the different passages and different kinds of questions. Now, one second. Okay, let me check if somebody is in the waiting room. Otherwise, I'll just start the class. Nobody in the waiting room. Okay, perfect. I have to. Okay. I'm sure that all of us have this sheet, right? And I requested, in fact, the admin guy to share the sheets with you. So, you know, one part we missed, we couldn't do because we were not allowed because of the time constraint. This is very important for us to understand. Like, listen, if you recall from day one, I have been telling you to start connecting the words, start connecting the sentences, start connecting the paragraphs to understand the flow of information, to understand what author wants to convey. Now what has happened, we have reached a point where we have to, as we have already practiced some thematic questions, we have discussed different kinds of themes. Have we? Have not we, guys? Thematic questions, different kinds of themes and all we have done. Good morning, everybody. You look lost to me. Have you done? Kanishka? Utkarsh? Anushka? Do you recall second class where we discussed those theme-based questions?
Yes, we have.
Yes, perfect. We have. Thank you so much. You saved me. Now, so what has happened? We have to follow now mind mapping exercise. Now, what is this? Nothing fancy, very straightforward exercise. It's just recalling. So I tell you how. The moment when you read and when you're able to close your eyes and you broadly able to make the skeleton of the information, okay, this passage started from here, it progressed towards this direction, it touched upon all these aspects. So the moment when you make a broad skeleton, not verbatim, broad skeleton, okay, this is the flow of information. Trust me, it makes life much more easier for you. You may not be able to close your eyes and visualize all that stuff right now, but yes, it is our ultimate aim to reach there, right? And that will only happen when we practice and when we develop our comfort. So what we are going to do, if I have a very sincere request to each one of you, if you have this passage available, please open it on your machine. Otherwise, I'm going to, anyways, we're going to open it here because it has 2 pages. So I may have constraint, may not keep the pace with the class basically. So
I have a question.
hi Disha. Yeah.
Sir, we've received a PDF on the group, but it's different from the one that you've opened here.
No. So the one which you have received is exercise 6, which we are going to do after 15-20 minutes. This is a previous class sheet. So guys, you're understanding, I promise that we are leaving some questions, mind mapping, and I mentioned that in the upcoming class, we are going to do that, right? So this is, we are continuing with the previous sheet. You have to open sheet 5. Am I clear, everyone? Perfect, cool. Okay, so your time starts now. What you have to do now? Okay, what you have to do now, read all information, and you have to tell me 2 things. First, broadly, how the information is flowing broadly, guys, again. Second, you have to tell me what is the main theme, center theme of this passage, and what are the sub themes. Okay, your time starts now. We can only take 7 minutes to finish it, please. Ritika, are you here? I am not sure because I have been admitting you repeatedly. You may have some technical issue. Can you hear me? I don't know.
Excuse me, sir. I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir. Sir, just one question. So what is the meaning of recipient?
Recipient is the person who receives.
Sir, your voice is like going.
Am I audible now?
Sir, your voice is coming very low. It's like increasing and then going down.
Is it better now?
No, sir. I mean, you can ask other people, but according to me, your voice. Yes, sir. Now it's clear.
It's clear. Okay. So recipient is the person who receives, basically the receiver.
Oh, the receiver.
Yes.
Thank you.
May I turn the page? Go to the next one if you're reading from my screen.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Yes, Disha, I got a message. Yes, you're right. Disha. Hey Akshat, buddy, I'm not added to that group. So Akshat, I'll request class. Would you have this PDF handy to submit in the group? Yeah, please do that.
That is
Sir,
asking.
sir, your voice is fluctuating a lot.
Oh my God. Can you hear me now?
Yes,
Is it
sir.
better?
Yes.
Okay. So can somebody do me a favor, please? Just forward this PDF in the group so that Akshat can receive. I have no right to share, or I'm not the part of that group. Basically, I can't do that. Shall we discuss? Okay, one more minute. Should we discuss it now, class?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I think we are still doing it. Okay, Manisha, thank you so much for sharing this. Thank you. Hey guys, now let's start discussing it. Okay. How are you feeling? I'm sure it's easy to understand.
Sir, we are not able to hear you properly.
Sir, your voice is fluctuating, like going
Sir,
up
I
and
think
then
your
going down.
voice is on automatic mode.
Can I put my camera off?
Sir, it's coming clear right now.
Okay. So guys, for the safer side, what I'm doing, I'm putting my camera off so that I get more bandwidth. I hope I'm audible now. Am I?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. Great. I think let's start the discussion. Everybody, thank you so much. I know the passage is not very difficult, but you have to understand how to succeed. I got one response from Disha Kumar.
What is happening? We didn't hear anything clearly.
Sir, you have to be close to the mic. How's the thing?
I don't know, yeah. I do how to handle.
Sir, maybe you can disconnect and then connect again.
Is it better?
Right now it's better, but then when you start speaking, it just goes off.
Just give me a second, please. Is it better now? Okay, I have just changed my network. I hope it's better.
Sir, I think the problem is with your mic.
Sir, you have to enable Zoom optimized audio from audio settings.
What should I enable?
Sir, Zoom optimized audio from audio settings.
Uh, Guys, is it better? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yes.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, so relaxing. I'm so sorry for all the inconvenience caused. I'm extremely sorry. To be honest, it's just beyond my control. I couldn't control it. Okay, so I share my screen quickly. Okay, now, so we have broadly we have read this piece, and I know that the center figure is like US and Israel. I'm not sure. So you got to answer this to me. You have to tell me, what do you believe is the center theme of this passage? Then we'll jump on to the sub themes, basically, right? Volunteers, anybody who is interested?
Middle Eastern policy.
Akshat? Okay, thank you. It's Middle Eastern policy. I don't think so. Is it the central theme?
So
Sir,
the
I'd say
central theme circles around the economic relationship
Hey,
between.
Diksha, right. I got, thank you so much. So you gave me the first response, but my only worry is it's not core talking about economic.
Sure.
It says that, yes, it is one of it, but the other things as well it's discussing, right? So yes, what you got is right, but we have to initially talk about the central theme, right?
US's support of Israel.
Okay. Or what about saying US-Israel relationship? If you
yes, sir.
notice, this passage actually talking about from history till this point, that how it's actually happening post World War II, all that stuff, all the points, everything. In fact, the biggest donation aids basically which is offered to it, all that stuff, right? So this is the central theme. Now we have multiple sub themes as well. What are three major multiple sub themes? Do we have any sub theme?
I guess the first one would be the material and economic relationship.
Absolutely.
The
The first
second
one
one
is
would be
first. Yes. First one is the.
economic.
Am I audible? I'm sorry, I'm getting my own voice muffled.
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Okay, perfect. Okay. So yeah, first is absolutely right, Manisha. It's about the economic relationship between these two. Okay, finance. Second, Mihir, can you help me out? What is the second theme? What is the other themes basically? What are the other
Sir,
themes?
I mean, this is not in order, but according to the last
No order,
eco,
Baba, no order. It's all over the place. Don't worry.
so I think, sir, another sub theme would be Israel being a burden over US.
It's not the sub theme. If you notice me here, it is coming from a point that US ignoring its own interest and the political lobby inside US is so strong that they couldn't take attention far away from Israel. No matter who is the government or what is the government, basically it just comes back, the focus comes back onto that, right? And the lobby is so strong that what is happening, US at certain point of time actually overlook its own interests, right? So the second important point is the military cooperation between these two nations, right? So of course it's aid, it's help. First help, or the first theme is financial. Second is what? The military. What is the third thing? Disha, you are nodding your head, you're interested? Okay, no problem. No problem. I thought you want to say something. No problem. The third position is justification of this relationship. Not very explicitly comes out, but it says that is it all right to go to that extent? And is it a mutual one? Is it going to pay back to US as well? And very, very smartly, author says, no, it's not mutual. US doesn't get the amount of assistance, the same amount of assistance from Israel. In fact, in examples are quoted when when Israel failed to offer help to US at the time of requirement. Okay, so what has happened? If you close your eyes, if you just see the structure of this whole passage, you find out how information flows. We may not have the proper structure. Okay, first it talked about this war, then it talked about these assistance, then it talked about the US issues, compromising its own issues, then it talked about the amount of aid it's offered, then it says that what all flexibility Israel gets in terms of it receives the other recipients receive the aid, and whereas the Israel receives the aid is in advance. So other nations receive after the end of the quarter, but Israel receives in the beginning of the quarter. And at the same point of time, what has happened? Israel is entitled to use that aid for its military purposes as well. So certain flexibilities are offered. So this is all the flow of information which cover and which governs it. And I'm so impressed you got it right. Most of us got it right, and we know how it flows. I would not take long for this on this passage. I would just quickly jump onto today's sheet. I hope that you have received this. So for mind mapping, what you have to do, there's one more passage there in the sheet, in the sheet 5. You have to practice that. Please do that and make it a habit every time when you get this. Please, whatever you read, whatever you go through, close your eyes for 5 seconds, good 5 seconds. Try to recall what it is actually talking about. What is the broad skeleton? What could be the perhaps central theme here, right? Let's do this. I got some questions. Prerit, I'm so sorry I missed your message. I'm not a tech savvy guy. Yes, you got it absolutely right, Prerit. I am really impressed with the term you use here. Geopolitical relations, absolutely right. Manisha Das, thank you so much. I'm sorry I missed again. Guys, you may send me the message. I may read them late. Unfortunately, I just don't quickly go there proactively. Okay, now the whole idea of this sheet is to make you familiar with certain terms, certain things, and how vocabulary plays very important role while comprehending any passage. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to come to the 5th passage first. Have you received this in the group, on a Telegram group?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. If you want to open there, you can open. If you want to solve it here, you can do that. Let's start with this passage 5. I'm going in a reverse order now. And you have to answer me 2 questions after. First, theme, of course. And second thing you have to answer is your comprehension level, how much you have understood. Okay, please start. We may take 10 minutes to solve it. Can I turn the page? No,
2 minutes.
no problem. Take your time. Should I change it over?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Two more minutes to solve this quickly. Not sure. Should we start discussing the questions, answers? Right. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Very quickly, everybody. Neha Shinde, can you help me, please? Okay. One center theme. What do you believe is, or not this theme? Have you? What is the comprehension level of this paragraph passage for you? Just unmute yourself, Neha.
Sir, it was understandable. I mean, I just got
Meher, hold on. Meher, buddy,
Yeah.
just hold on. Neha. Neha, you're on mute. Unmute yourself. No problem. No problem. Don't get panic. Easy. We'll come back to you. That's fine. Mihir, what's the comprehension level?
Yeah, sir, it was I mean, on a scale of 0 to 10, I'd say it was a 7 because there were like
Good.
some
Okay,
reference.
I'll stop you. Go.
Oh, okay.
Akshat, what's the comprehension level, buddy?
Yeah, 6 to 7. Yes, for me it was 6.
Okay. Kanishka, my friend, what's the comprehension level?
I guess not more than 5.
Good, beta. It's good to be honest. I'm so proud of you. Yes, I tell you why. I'm going to ask questions. I'll tell you why, basically. I don't know if I have missed. Okay, I'm missing a lot of people. Gaurangi. I'm sorry, Gaurangi.
Yes,
Can you hear
sir.
me? Can you hear me, beta?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What's the comprehension level?
So, 5 to 6.
Okay.
Not more than that.
Rashi, can you help me with the first paragraph, please? Rashi, Bache, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I can hear
Okay.
you.
Yeah. Can you help me with the first paragraph? What's the comprehension level? I'm sorry, I should have asked this.
Like for me, it's 4 to 5.
No worries, good. Have you understood the first paragraph?
Yeah, a little bit. It is about the novel that one author, the way he's writing different types of a novel and what is the ending part and what is the starting part of it.
So what is the novel here? What are the novels here? Are the names mentioned, or these are the authors?
Authors.
These are the authors. Okay.
I also don't know.
Okay, no problem. Come on, don't be afraid. Dave.
Like it is the tone of the ending a novel. It is a tone.
Yes.
Not authors
Brilliant.
or novel. It's about
Brilliant.
the tone, that how we are ending a novel.
Absolutely, Rashi. So proud of you. That's good. So you know what has happened? We got some adjectives for certain novels, and especially how they are proceeding, right? And how what are the best first line? So everybody enjoy reciting them. The Bizarre for Earthly Powers, The Haunting for Rebecca. So what has happened? We got some adjectives for these lines, right? How the beginning basically happens. The passage basically evolved from the first line theme to the concluding lines as well. Okay. Now I have a question. You must have seen certain words which were highlighted here, and which were bold, not highlighted, which were bold. So we have to discuss these questions, these words here. But before that, can anybody tell me the theme of this passage? If you close your eyes, I know that you can broadly understand the structure. But what is the central theme you'll come out with? Anybody volunteers?
I think the author has compared the last lines of novels, classic novels and modern novels.
Yes, so author is technically it's more concerned about modern novelists and their last lines, basically how they're concluding the work. A lot of time it's like an open-ended thing, so you don't know. So it's like a with that movie which got part 1 and part 2. I'm sorry, I forgot the name. I'm bad at it. This style, this OTT Pushpa, right? The moment you saw it, it's the ending itself is the beginning here, right? So it's like a modern novelist. You put ending open-ended, so you expect things. Okay, certain things are there, right? So the whole narration happens, and end basically opens new horizons, basically new point of discussion. So this is a whole idea author is talking about, and there are the instances where author particularly compare it with Victorian and classical writers here, right? So yes, I have a quick question. What do you mean? What's the meaning of the 17th one, cynic? What does it mean, guys?
Misanthrope.
Sir, I think a person who believes that people do things out of like for their own benefit rather than doing it selflessly.
Susters बताया Google से देखा ना?
हाँ sir, Google से देखा.
You're reading the same line, buddy.
हाँ, I know. Sir, मैंने अभी like passage I was reading, so I couldn't
problem,
understand.
good.
So I just Googled.
But that's fine. But remember it now.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, remember it. Anybody, in general, not very technical definition.
So a sort of
Someone who's skeptical and has trust issues.
Who is saying Manisha or Disha?
Ma'am, it's Disha.
Ma'am, no, ma'am.
Sorry.
So
sir.
No
a
problem.
person
No problem.
is like a
Yes.
misanthrope.
Manisha, sorry.
A misanthrope sort of a person.
Yes. Who just doesn't trust easily. Like takes time, its own sweet time. Disha, you're right. Manisha, you're right. So it's like a won't go very easily. It's like always doubt. Okay. Who distrust people fundamentally. You know this, do you know the meaning of doubting Thomas? D-O-U-B-T-I-N-G, doubting Thomas, T-H-O-M-A-S. What is the meaning of this term? Class? No? Okay. So very quickly, I think I have to tell you a story here. So it's like you know, when Jesus sends apostles basically in all directions, right? And across globe. It's a biblical story basically. So what has happened when Jesus was crucified and he came back to life to protect the humanity basically. So what has happened when this news spread that okay, Jesus is back, and you know all these apostles came back and you know just checking, they were praising God, Lord, and all that things happened. There's one apostle who was in India basically, was going back. His name was Thomas. So he was doubting, saying, no, Jesus is crucified. He won't be able to come back. He's dead. So he reached and he saw Jesus at distance, like, okay, Jesus is back. I don't think so. People, if you listen, he's standing. No, I doubt. He's not. So he went further closer to Jesus and like, look, Jesus is back. See, like, no, I don't believe Jesus is crucified. He went before Jesus, exactly before Jesus, and Jesus told him, hey, my son, I'm back. Lord has sent me back. This gentleman was still not believing Jesus. So Jesus was like, can you touch my wounds and see? Those are yet red, blood is flowing, but I'm back. So this gentleman was so doubtful that he actually touched Jesus' wound and checked whether Jesus was actually crucified or not, or he's back or not. So from this gentleman apostle, we got the term called doubting Thomas, which means somebody who just does not trust people easily, like always in a doubting mode, right? So what Manisha and Disha said, it's more associated, your explanation goes more associated with that, right? Okay. What is at stake? I think we all know what is at stake, right? What does it mean if you say what's at stake?
Like basically, what do we have to lose?
What
What's there to, like, what's there to lose? Like,
okay,
you
what's
know,
there to lose?
Sir,
Absolutely.
am I audible now?
Yes, Neha, brilliant.
Sir, maybe risky.
No, at stake is not risky, but at stake is something which, a question basically, a reputation, something which is at stake is something which is at question. Okay, good. What do you mean by catastrophe?
Calamity.
Yes,
Disaster.
disaster. Yes, thank you
Disaster.
so much. Disaster. What is cadence?
I think it means a flow, like a flow or a rhythm of something.
Disha, Google dekha tha?
No, sir. Actually, I've learned a little bit of music, so
No, that's fine. Don't get offensive. It's
no.
absolutely fine. No.
Yeah.
Don't. Yes, you're right. That's because you use a very particular word which is rhythm, right? So it's a very technical and very bingo answer. Yes, cadence is like somebody who balances the sounds, balances this rhythm basically. That's cadence. Utkarsh, if you're saying something, you're muted. You're not saying something. Okay. Now, what is unimpeachably?
Trustworthy.
Yes, somebody who's beyond doubt, like a yes, always. Tautologus. What is tautologus?
I guess true and false.
Sorry?
I mean, I have heard the word tautology. I guess it means true and false.
No, tautologus is like a repeating the same thing, but in a different words. So your parents sometimes they just convey the message, but they use the different terms, different jargons, different stories to convey the message to you, right? So
Yes.
yes, that's the one. Okay, what's the meaning of sublime? I'm sorry, I just changed that.
Too good.
Sublime.
Excellent.
Too good.
Picture perfect.
Too good, no. Sublime, no. Too good. Is good is fine. It's a positive. Gaurangi, it's a positive. It's a positive adjective. So I'm fine with you. Neha, I'm fine with you. But what is sublime? That ultimate thing which comes a bingo impression. If a performance is sublime, is what?
Excellent.
Extreme.
Thank you. Something which is impressive.
It's very good. Like,
Yes. Thank you so much. 24th question. Very interesting question I have for you. Why does the author feel that the last line of loving are a joke? Can you read this part? I'd rather read this one only. Sorry. What it should be? 24th. Should I go back to the question? Are you done reading? Guys, give me some hint. Should I go back to the question?
Yes,
Are you done reading? Okay. Okay. Yep. Why does the author feel that the last line of loving are a joke? It's straight lift from the children's book? No, I don't know from where it's coming from. In England, chances of life ending in this manner are far-fetched. I don't find any reference here. The author of Loving is known to be cynical, right? It says somewhere, right? Isn't it?
Yes, sir. I'd go with option.
For a cynic like Green, the last line only really to be a bad joke. A more characteristically, underline this term, truthful last sentence is the end of dotting. So like a person who never enjoyed the happy marriage life actually comes out with the statement at the end of it. It's like a cynical thing. Okay. So answer should be third. And this adjective is particularly used there. 24th. 25th. Why does the author mention the modern critics' attempt to find gray areas in the ending of Victorian novel? It's here. Should I highlight the portion for you? You recall it? May not be able to. Don't worry. You got to understand this.
Sir, I have a question.
Yes, Mihir.
Sir, for like passages which have like more than 10 paragraphs and such, and then like we take our time to read the passage first, and then we go to the question. So like, how should I? What's the way to remember the whole paragraph? Because after reading the question, then I'll go to the passage and then find out where is it. So like, sir, what is like the funda for remember?
It's a very valid question, Mihir. I would prefer to answer this at the end of the passage, but now let's take this question.
Okay.
So guys, I'm parking question number 25 right now. I'm just answering Mihir's question first. So you know what happened? That's the whole reason. That's the reason we are doing these exercises. So there are two kinds of questions, Mihir. First is thematic, and second is factual. Okay. Now what has happened? In order to answer thematic questions, trust me, you're not supposed to turn the pages, go back to the passages and refer. So while answering the thematic questions, what you have to do, We discussed it in the last class. Even today we discuss what you should be able to do. Close your eyes and understand the theme, what it is talking about. Is the passage critical of something? Is the passage subjective in tone? Is the passage descriptive? Is the passage illustrative? All these things. You cannot find it unless you got a broad satellite view of the passage, right? So it answered the first part, how to deal with the thematic questions. You have to, I repeatedly and always say this, connect words, connect sentences, connect paragraphs, you prepare the whole stuff. The moment when you do that, the whole idea behind doing mind mapping exercise is what? To understand how it flows. I have a question for you, Mihir, very quickly. Do you remember in the last sheet number 5, we talked about America and Israel relationship?
Yeah.
Right? Do you remember?
Yes, sir.
Yes, I have a question for you. There was a reference that a lot of time, when America needed it, Israel was not able to help it per se. Not help, or America couldn't in fact utilize that. There was an instance of war mentioned. Do you remember it was in the beginning of the passage or at the end of the passage or in the middle?
So where US couldn't access Israel's resources. So it was in the last paragraph. I think second last paragraph where it had
No.
mentioned Gulf.
Where it said during even in the war, in the war of Gulf, it couldn't in fact utilize it.
Yeah.
Yes, so it was middle of paragraph. You did not mind map it. Right? So what we have to do, broadly understand. In fact, I made my question very open-ended. So for that matter, I take you one more question for this one. We have read one passage. No, this is the only, sorry, I was taking question from it. No, let me go back to the American Israel question. Do you remember there was an quotation there, reference there of the strong lobby by Israel in US politics?
No, sir,
Was that the big,
remember.
you don't remember it? No, then it's a big problem here. Guys, do you remember what my 2 questions? I'm asking whole class, unmute yourself. My first question was, do you remember the time when it's quoted, America couldn't utilize the full resources of or take the help from Israel while doing so much for it, right? It was in the body of it. It was in the middle of the passage, right? The same portion was what like how the lobby is very strong. It was in the middle, immediately after the first part, it was in the middle. Manisa, you're saying something. Sorry, you're muted.
So in the third or second or third paragraph.
Beta, your voice is muffling. I'm not sure if it is only for me. Guys, can you hear Manisha Das? Can you hear her?
No, sir.
No.
Sorry. Okay. So no problem. Manisha will come back to you. Don't worry. Or you can turn your camera off then speak. Yeah, sure. So what has happened? We have to just understand here, Mihir, to answer a question. Please do this regularly when you read something. That's the whole idea we have given you the Funda book. When you read something broadly, just close your eyes and try to locate the information. Same here as well. Right? So while answering this, you have to understand how it started, how the flow happens. And yes, I'm not saying that you should not turn the page to answer the question. Baba, this is not the ultimate test of a memory. This is the test of your comprehension. So I would not mind you turning the pages and giving me the right answer, instead relying on your memory and giving all wrong answers.
No, sir, like I basically, I'm not much into world history and all, but sir, like from what I read from the passage, like I could decipher a bit, like some bits of it, but it's like all about logically connecting the points and then getting like the whole central idea and the sub theme idea. So like I wasn't able to connect that. So I think that's where I was lacking.
No, that's absolutely right. But you know what has happened? I'm sure you don't read much.
No, sir, not much.
That's what. And it's not, trust me, it's not pertaining to world history, world politics, or literary anything. Any stuff if you get, if you're not familiar with the black and white, I mean with the text basically, you'll struggle, irrespective of its background, right? So that's the reason I'm suggesting. That's the reason when class started, I said, please try to read the Funda book, try to solve the Funda book, right? That's the whole idea I did. So again, take small pieces, work on the piecemeals, take few things, read them, make the skeleton structure, and then proceed. Okay, sorry. I hope I answered a question, Mihir.
Yes, sir. Thank
Okay,
you.
perfect. Guys, very quickly, question number 20. Okay. So it's written here very interestingly. It says, what has become rarer is a coincidence of the two. Novelists have become increasingly unlike to bring a story to a final close with a final sounding cadence. Nor is a modern novel quite imaginable that ends quite unironically with the peals of happiness at the end of many Victorian novels. And like that, the interesting thing is ahead. And it is striking that modern critics has made strong efforts to find ambiguity in closing assertions of great expectations and much less convincingly Wuthering Heights. For the modern critics are walking extra miles to find out flaws in the classical or the Victorian work rather. And they're not identifying, Baba, we have the biggest issue. So it's like you have the flaws at the same point of time you're judging the other stuff. So 25th, what it should be to showcase the extent to which people hate happy ending. I'm sorry, there's no concept of hate and liking. It's a concept of enjoying and making it and giving it the final treatment, right? To display the frustrated efforts to some critics to cite instances that support their beliefs. Yes, critics have actually quoted the instances, but I would not. I have very serious objection on the word frustrated efforts. Sorry, the passage is actually not written in this tone at all, right? To indicate the abounding possibilities of ambiguity in literature. No, it's not per se literature, it's an era they are talking about ambiguity, right? The modern era, the classical and the Victorian per se for that matter. To show the strength of the present thought that disbelieves in happy ending. I think it's all talking about this, that present, I in fact made emphasis while reading that, right? Do you recall when we were reading that line? It clearly says that they got disbelieve in happy ending, right? Okay, 25th, 26th. Why does the author feel that ending like Nick Hobbies in High Fidelity seem to work? Do you remember where we got this part? From Nick, I have to turn the page, guys, quickly. This part and then this. The interesting part, read. That lovely apologetic sort of is a long way from reader. I married him. Often this emerges in the final sentence where everything suddenly starts to change, right? And the previous one says, Nick Hobbies High Fidelity tonight. For the first time ever, I can sort to see how it's done. Now, 26th, back to the question. Because they are personal and make the reader relate to the character, not at all. They don't make them relate to their character. I'm sorry. Because they accept the ambiguity even in the finality of the story. Yes, they are accepting ambiguity even in only in the last sentence to just start the new sort of discussion altogether. Answer is second. Okay. All those who got it all clear means. Now, the reason I started in a reverse order to show that, guys, a lot of time I may able to understand the text, but I may not be able to answer my questions correctly. While answering Mihir's question, as I categorically said, my training is, or our purpose is solely based on answering the question absolutely. There's no test of comprehension per se. You're not going to write thesis on that paragraph, on that passage, right? So guys, this is the ultimate game. So stick to the questions. Learn the art of eliminating the options. Go for the certain words like frustrated, getting into the character and all that. it helps you to remove the extreme options altogether. Now I'm jumping back to the paragraph second. This is a very short paragraph. First, sorry. I can only give you 8 minutes to solve it. Read it quickly. Should I change the slide? Turn the page? Okay. Should I turn the page, please?
Sir.
Class, are you done? Should move to the questions.
Yes, sir.
Perfect. Others are just okay. Just one more minute. Huh? Okay. Let's move to the questions now. People try to turn the camera on. Utkarsh, or I don't know if I've asked all of you, I don't know who is there anybody who is just not yet discussed. Prerit, can I bother you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Prerit, you have to help me with one thing. That who is this gentleman? Dorigo Events. Don't refer to the text. Any idea? One line, only one line, less than a line, basically.
He's an Australian, I guess. He was talked about in the passage.
He talked. Okay, perfect. Is a real figure or an imaginary figure?
He is a real figure, I guess.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. I should go to, I don't know, Mritika, if I can bother you. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Mhm.
Is a real figure or imaginary figure?
No, he's the character of the novel that the passage
Whose
talks
novel?
about.
Whose novel?
Richard Flanagan, I think his name was.
No. Akshat, is Mritika correct? My friend Akshat?
I don't know, sir.
No problem. Buddy, Utkarsh, don't
Sir,
look at the
I'm
screen.
totally unaware.
Sorry, Utkarsh,
Sir, I'm totally unaware.
you're totally unaware. Okay, no problem. I'll make you aware. One Japanese name is mentioned. Do you recall that name?
Nakamura.
No.
Muro.
Mritika, hold on. Utkarsh, By the way, Mritika,
You have
you're
to
right. I just stopped, but your responses were right, Mritika. Sorry, I intentionally did not approve them. Right. Okay. Sorry, Utkarsh. Are you with me?
Yes.
Who is this Japanese gentleman?
Can I switch back to the passage?
No. No problem. That's all right. No problem. Rashi, Rashi, have I asked you before? I think I asked Rashi before.
Yes. So
Should I ask you again?
Nakamura was the prisoner of this in this whole story.
Thank you so much. Kanishka, I have a question for you, my friend. What do you believe that author somewhere showed pity towards this Nakamura gentleman? Do you believe that he was treated like somewhere he was just treated with pity? Like,
Yes.
like where? Why do you say so? Give me a rough idea. Don't give me the exact reading from the text. Give me a rough idea.
Sir, since he was in the jail and all the suffering was there.
It's somewhere it says they were the victims of war. This Dorigo and Nakamura, if I recall correctly, guys, right? It says that they were the victim of war, right? Okay, yes. Thank you, Kanishka. You got the passage correctly. Thank you. In fact, all of us got it correctly. Great show. Perfect. Now, let me take you to the question number 4 first. Read it with a complete peace of mind. Underline it. Would least likely to agree with. Right?
The first one.
Dorigo was a heroic character who deserved all the glory and his country bestowed upon him, which is true. He agreed, because you remember it says, I don't know who responded, but it says that an Australian protagonist is a surgeon, Dorigo Evans, who to his own amazement becomes legendary in post-war Australia for his wartime courage in the face of Japanese captors. So first is not the answer. Second, Dorigo's men couldn't distinguish between a just cause and an illusionary cause. Which is true, that fish ka jo aquarium wala jo issue hua tha, right? So which is also true. Author agreed to it basically. That's the reason he quoted that incident, right? Dorigo evokes a pity because of his existential dilemma. Guys, what do you think about it? Okay, I'll park it. Peace after war may be illusionary for some.
This is also true, right?
It is true, exactly, explicitly true, right? Thank you so much. Dorigo and Nakamura were both the victims of war.
Agree.
He said this, right? Yes. Now third, just one word, underline it. Evokes a pity. He didn't get a pity, he got a respect. He's a legendary figure, Baba. You don't pity him. He had his own downs. Right? So be very careful about this, about the words. So fourth is third. Now let's move to the question number 3. Very quickly, guys. I'll just extend this class by 5 minutes, please. Bear with me. All the following can be inferred from the last line of the passage, except. I'm going in a reverse order. Reckless surgeries and adulteries can be the coping mechanism of the spiritually depressed. It says last line. It says.
Yes, it mentions something about adultery.
Yes, it says here. It says, Baba, dekho, come here. Read it. Flanagan writes of Dorigo. He felt his spirit sleeping, and though he tried hard to rouse it, with the shocks and dangers of consecutive and sometimes concurrent adulteries, outburst, an act of pointless compassion and reckless surgery. It did no good. So we come on to question number 5, which is inferred. Point number 5, which is inferred. Point number 4, existential crisis can affect the behavior of even a war hero, which is true. It affected big time. Not only his, but his colleagues as well, right? Now, Dorigo suffered from an existential crisis at some point in his life. Did he? That's the reason he was opting for all these and treating those as a therapy. He was suffering. That's the reason he was opting for these therapies, right? Dorigo struggled in vain to overcome the onslaught of ennui in his post-war life. He was actually trying to get the onslaught of ennui. Ennui is like a listlessness. He was doing that. It was one of the stuff he was facing. Now, first one, Languor was a major issue in the day-to-day survival of Dorigo. What do you mean by Languor? It's like a tiredness. Okay. And I have a serious, it was there, of course, in his life. Of course, it is there, right? But I have a serious problem with the one thing which says major issues. He got things such as spiritual depression or languor or listlessness or ennui and all that, right? That's the reason spiritual depression, he had all these things. That's the reason somewhere he asked his fellow guy here, he says, he asked a question. Yeah. You still believe in God, Bonox? Right? So all this shows his spiritual dilemma, all these statements, right? So answer is first. Third. Second, why did Doringo men attack the fish tank in the Hogwarts fish shop?
To honor the memory of their departed colleague, war hero Gardiner.
No, Rashi. No. It was not to honor it.
To rebuild the influence of the world.
Because I tell you, my point is, Rashi, hello?
Yes, sir.
You answered this one, right, Abhi?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So my problem is, I know this Gardiner is like, it comes like an obvious choice for me, but my only issue is like, whole passage, the entire passage does not say whether he was hero or not. So why are we putting this adjective for this gentleman here in the option?
Okay,
are you
sir.
with me? Are you with me?
Sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. It sounds as if the protagonist himself had died and they were doing it to commemorate his memory. Rashi, you got to understand. Okay, perfect. Sir. Thank you. Fourth one, to awaken their sleeping conscience and spirit and to renew their vow to cause of freedom. War is over. The cause of freedom, everybody realized it was no cause of freedom. It was Japanese ego, for that matter. Now, to try and find meaning and purpose in their new surrounding in the post-war period, they did that even with no clarification, no pursuit. Right? So third is the answer basically. Second and first obviously ruled out. To reaffirm their commitment to the cause of freedom, there was no commitment, Baba. There's not at all mention of it. First one is to relieve their memories of war and to find meaningful. They don't want to relieve their memories of war. They just want to get freedom of it, basically. They were in a dilemma. They couldn't, but the switch over from war to post-war thing. So that vacuum was not giving them the mental soothe, though it's not explicitly mentioned. First one, guys, very easy, superbly easy. Which of the following can substitute the word clunky in the passage? My question to you without turning the page, do you remember where the word was mentioned?
Amy's marriage with his uncle, with her uncle.
Yes, thank you so much, Karishka. I'm so proud of you. Yes. You know, somewhere it says that he wanted to marry that girl who was engaged or some sort of done with his uncle, right? Philip, it may give you clunky feeling, but during war it is fine, and he gave some justification. I take you here. The fact that Emmy is married to his uncle would be clunky in others' hand, but it is utterly convincing here. Right? Now, what is the meaning of repellent? Mosquito repellent?
To oppose.
To Utkarsh?
Sir, oppose.
Yeah, to ward off, right? To get rid of, to ward off. Yes, thank you. What is the meaning of ponderous? Mritika,
Clumsy.
Who said? Mritika or Neha?
Neha.
Neha, hi. Neha, you said clumsy?
Yeah.
It's like dull. It's like dull. It's like a negatively dull. Ponderous, like a negatively dull, like a unpleasant. Okay? I'm giving the meaning of all these things. What is the meaning of veritable? Guys, you got to work on your reading and vocabulary, trust me. What is the meaning of veritable? Something which is convincing, something which is true, something which is okay, something which is real, for that matter. Everybody, we have to work on our vocabulary. Trust me. What is spurious? Okay, do it right now. Google it, everyone. Let's start working on vocabulary right now.
Can you repeat?
SPU. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, Neha. Spurious.
False or fake.
Who said, Rashi?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Something which is not genuine, which is false. True. Very good. You Google it, Rashi?
Yeah, right now.
Okay. Promise me that you would not forget this word now.
Yeah.
I'll ask this word again, all these 5 words again in the next class. You'll have to remember, everyone. What is gruesome?
Scary.
It's like scary, deadly scary. It's a gruesome thought. Who said scary?
Neha.
You Google it, Neha?
No, sir.
Thank you so much. Good. Everybody. Now you know the meaning of all these 5 and give me the answer, please.
So I guess ponderous.
Neha thinks ponderous. What Akshat, Utkarsh, Anushka, Manisha, Prerit believe? Mitrika? Yes, the answer is ponderous because it's that unpleasant situation. It's an unpleasant dull, right? Not a negative, no, sorry, not a positive way. It's a negatively dull. Okay, perfect. Guys, I'll take leave. I'm so sorry. I got to extend this class by 6 minutes because initially my mic didn't work and so all that things happened. I have a very serious request. Please take this religiously. We need to practice. Without it, it would be impossible for all of us to sail through. We know that mocks are coming. Are happening, of course, periodically. So we have to do justice. We have to work on speed and everything. But my worry is we have to work on a basic comprehension. Okay, please start reading. Take the piecemeals quickly. Take the small write-ups. Read them. I would be repeated. I'm so sorry. I don't want to repeat the same stuff. Go to the blogs, any stuff which you want to subscribe, read them appropriately, regularly. Okay. And do this exercise even for a day.
Sir, is reading newspaper a good option?
Neha, it's a good option. But we have to start chewing something serious stuff now. I'm sorry. Having said so serious doesn't mean newspapers are not serious. I mean something more complex. So newspapers basically got all sort of editorials. I'm fine with that. But again, you have to do this exercise. When you read one editorial, close your eyes, mind map it. When you read the newspaper, if you highlight the words, if you use them, I'm good with that. When you read the newspaper, you work on word connection with word, sentence connecting with sentence, paragraph connecting with paragraph. And at the end of the day, if you close your eyes and you say, okay, this is the central theme, this is how information flow, I'm good with that. So to answer a question, yes, but not reading and closing. No, reading and then introspecting, then doing the mind mapping, and then following the flow of information. Okay, perfect. Thank you so much for your time. You have this sheet. You have to do this, the remaining 2 passages here. You have to solve. It's a homework for you. Okay. Utkarsh, you look unwell to me. You're sleepy. Go have some sound sleep or a cup of coffee if you have to, if you have a long night. Okay. Thank you so much, everybody, for your time. Have a good weekend and buzz me in case you need any help, any assistance. Thank you so much. Enjoy your weekend.
Thank you, sir.
Bye-bye.